What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blues Nation, and today I want to do something a little bit different. So we don't have any more Club World Cup to talk about, no match previews for a really long time, about a month. I know we got a whole month before the Premier League, such a long time. Crazy that it'll already be starting in just a couple weeks now. But what we are in the middle of right now is the transfer window. And the crazy thing is we actually have still about 6 or so weeks left of the transfer window, if I'm not mistaken. But I actually think Chelsea Football Club could potentially be done with most of our business, at least the incomings, as soon as maybe the end of this week or next, because it looks like our conversations with players such as Joel Hato and Xavi Simons are very advanced, and potentially, depending on a couple outgoings like Renato Vega and Joao Felix, could be finished and finalized by the end of this week. So what I wanted to do today really quick is just look at who is one of these players. Who is Xavi Simons? The reason for that is because he is this, streets footballer, mega talented, silky center attacking midfielder / left winger that I've known about for a long time. He scored in the Euros in a semifinal, I believe, for Netherlands. He's played for big clubs like PSG, PSV, and RB Leipzig last season, and he's performed really well. And it looks like we are in for him very seriously. So what I was left thinking is, who is this guy? Why do we need him? Is he surplus or does he fill an actual need? So let's go ahead and hop over to SofaScore and see some of the stats of what role is he going to fill for Chelsea Football Club. All right, guys, so you see right here, we're going to do a player comparison, which is why this is blank right now. But I wanted to look first off, just who is this guy? What is he known for? What was his production like last year in the Bundesliga? So he's 22, 5'10", but this is really interesting. He kind of fits into the scheme of young player, yet he's already pretty established because he's had like 3 or 4 years at the top level already where he's produced. So he is young, but he is more of a win now player because he's ready to go now. He doesn't need likely years of acclimatization to the Premier League. Hopefully it's of course different, but he has international experience. He has Champions League experience. He has experience with this type of football, so he should be more ready to go. But let's look at this heat map. So this heat map is interesting to me because what it's showing, if you see this right here, is that he occupies largely the left space of the left wing. However, he likes to drift into these middle spaces. And what that sounds familiar to are players like Joao Pedro. He's comfortable playing centrally, but he is primarily out on the left. And that's interesting to me because we need more numbers on the left. So it is fulfilling a need in that way, but it's interesting because he's not really an out-and-out winger. He's not really the kind of guy that's going to have chalk on his boots, take on 1v1s. He seems to be the kind of player that likes interplay, likes quick 1-2s, likes being creative, kind of a playmaker, that type of thing. But also, he's not averse to his odd goal. Because if you scroll on down here, in 2,100 minutes, which is almost a full 90 per appearance, he had 10 goals. And the thing that I like to see above this, and I'm big on performance over XG, performance over expected goals. Look at this. He's basically doubling his expected goals. He had about 5 expected goals from last season. He had 10. That is amazing. From years of having players like Kai Havertz and Nico Jackson and Timo Werner and all these players that are exciting yet fail to capitalize on opportunities, seeing these kind of numbers is music to my ears, guys, let me tell you. So he gets a lot of goals and then also a good amount of assists. He has 7 assists, about 0.3 assists per game, so about an assist every third game or so. So again, he has a lot of production as a 22-year-old in a pretty bad RB Leipzig team last year. 17 goal contributions in just Bundesliga. I'm not looking at any other competitions. Again, for a player who likes to kind of occupy that left-hand space but drifting into the center of the field. So let me just say, from my perspective, my only concern thus far is that, let's say hypothetically, we have Xavi Simons, Cole Palmer, and Estevao Willian all playing in a front three. Like Xavi Simons on the left, Cole Palmer in the middle, and Estevao Willian on the right, which I'm not saying is my predicted front three minus the number 9, but it could be. My only concern, and maybe this isn't a problem, is that all 3 of those players, at least supposedly, with Esteve out, like drifting into the middle and making play for themselves. So my only wonder is, will we get real congested in the middle through that area with those kind of players? None of them really chalk on the boots wingers. Esteve, I would say, is, but from what I've heard, he likes to come inside as well. So only concern, but that's kind of the player, Xavi Simons, what you can expect. He's, again, this attacking midfielder who can play out on the left, can fill that position, but likes being in the middle as well. So what I want to do now, guys, I'm going to pull up João Pedro, and I'm just going to kind of compare for us a few of the players that we've also brought in already and look at, again, is this good depth? Is it necessary rotation, or is it surplus? So let's go ahead and change this to Premier League. Here we go. Okay, so let's first, again, age similar, 23, 22, so they're both young players playing in different leagues. Keep that in mind. Of course, I would say Pedro playing in the harder league as of now. Heat map, different. But not really that different if you think about it. Because most of the heat signature for João Pedro is primarily on the left. Kind of a little bit more central maybe, but still on the left, drifting in the middle. So that's the interesting thing. I think this is where a little congestion could possibly happen, because I don't think that João Pedro is going to be the starting number 9 for 30-plus games this season. I think he's number 1 option right now, but Liam Delap has done nothing to make us not excited about him. So I don't know what kind of rotation is going to go on there, but Liam Delap has no winger in him. He is a number 9, period. So if we want João Pedro and Liam Delap on the same side, it's possible Pedro would play on the left-hand side, which is where Simons plays. So possibly some overlap there, but of course you do need depth. So let's go look at their production and see what we're looking at here. Same amount of goals. The good news is both of them are overperforming their expected goals. João Pedro a little bit less so, but still overperforming, which is definitely a positive. And then João Pedro with 6 assists to Xavi Simons with 7. So both really similar output, which is really good to see. And honestly, even though they're very different builds, obviously, and you're probably not going to see Xavi Simons filling in a number 9 position, João Pedro, at least last year, filled a similar positional space as Xavi Simons, which is interesting to see. Not saying good news or bad news necessarily as of now, but there's one other player I want us to look at, and that is Jamie Gittins. And the reason for that, again, is because he's another player we brought in to be kind of on that left-handed side. So Jamie Gittins is 2 years younger, but interestingly enough, also played in the Bundesliga for Dortmund. And he had an off and on season. He started very well, and then they had a change of management and it didn't go as well. So I'm not really as interested in the production for him, even though still 8 goals for Jamie Gittins in a season that the second half really trailed off is not bad, because he had, if you see, 3 assists, he had 11 goal contributions in about 300 or 400 less minutes than Xavi Simons. So really not terrible production either for him. But this is where it's interesting. Jamie Gittins is a winger, period. Like I said, Liam Delap is a striker, period. Jamie Gittins is a winger, period. He wants to be out there. He wants to take on players. He wants to go 1v1. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Nani Madueke, where he is just going to throw him out there. He wants the 1v1s. He wants to smoke. Put him out there. He's going to make something happen. He's not going to be drifting in the middle as much. He's not a center attacking midfielder at all. He's a left winger. And I like that because I want variety. I don't want to have 3 of the same players filling in depth. I don't want any of that. I want us to have variety in these positions. And right here you see on these heat maps, there's definitely variety. So again, that was just a comparison of a couple of the different players, Xavi Simons versus João Pedro and Xavi Simons versus Jamie Gittins, because again, this is a player we're linked to. I think this deal is probably going to happen. I think we just might need a sale or 2 in order to facilitate it. So let's talk about kind of my final conclusion in regards to this transfer actually happening. Okay, guys. So yeah, again, bottom line, I wanted to look at this to kind of see who is this guy, what kind of role does he fill positionally, what's his production like, what can we expect from him, is he someone we should really be excited for, or is he kind of a backup option we've turned to? And my bottom line result is I think this is absolutely something that we should be excited for. The reason for that is several different reasons. And it's because we are playing a season now. We're going to have many games, many competitions, all of which matter and all of which are really difficult. We're not playing the Conference League anymore. We're not playing in the whatever you want to call it, that kind of second-rate European competition. We're playing the Champions League, and of course the best domestic league in the world, in the Premier League. So we need to have A-tier players in rotation, not just in the starting 11, because you can't have players playing two times a week, and however many times, 10 times a month, and expect them to be at 100% if you have no rotation for them. So in other words, you need these players that at first you'd say, how are they going to be comfortable being on the bench? On the bench, because you need to not have a major drop off. And let's think about the front line as a whole. If we sell Nico Jackson, which seems like we want to, and seems like he wants to leave, all of a sudden we're back down to Liam Delap as an out-and-out striker. Mark Hughes probably headed out on loan. So then Liam Delap and Joao Pedro as your starting kind of two for the number 9. And then on the left wing, we lost Jadon Sancho. On the right wing, we lost Nani Madueke. And of course, Mudryk is gone for who knows how long. So we had 3 players leave. Tyreek George might go out on loan as well. We need to bring in reinforcements. Hence, Joao Pedro, and it's Jamie Gittins, and probably Xavi Simons. So if Joao Pedro is actually going to be slotting in for that striker position, we need more depth for the left wing, in my opinion. I don't think Jamie Gittins and Tyreek George is enough at all, because Tyreek George has minimal experience, and I love Tyreek, but I don't think he's fully proved himself to be the next coming of Chelsea's sharp-eaten left wing. So, and Jamie Gittins the same thing. So I think we need this signing. It proves depth. It provides quality for rotation. I think he probably would start as well. I think it'd be very different from what Jamie Gittins offers, which again is a good thing. But my question for you guys is, do you think this is a signing we should finish? How much is too expensive for you? And do you think it'll get done this week? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Thanks for listening to this little bit of a player preview with Xavi Simons. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe. Just enjoying getting this channel going, getting off its feet. So hopefully we'll see you next week, and there'll probably be a lot of news between now and then. So I'll see you guys later.